together. We wake up, make up.
I know which pattern to use.
Some big family.
That looks cute with the piece in the front.
Though we don't look the same, my spots are different.
Different colors.
We make each other stronger. That ain't never gonna change. Believe in Mr.
We're cheated girls, cheater sisters. Speak the truth. Try not to break the rules, 'cause my body is and we need help to carry on.
This is a Tony Braxton remix. Nope. Hey guys!
Hi. Hey yo. We are Bizak baby, so we just kind of like popped up like did our Jack in the Box last time, and you guys were like screw. How are you just gonna pull up on us, and where have you been? So we just came to come and do a kind of refresher,
Catch up,
you know, a rejoining. A regrouping, you know, a revitalization of knowledge of us as Live from Layfield, and just give you kind of like life updates, answering your Snapchat and YouTube questions.
Yeah.
So we hope you enjoy this one, y'all. Just stay tuned.
So this is from YouTube, and people want to know what are our current job roles. So let's start from the right to the left.
Okay, so we're all pharmacists, but I guess we work in different sectors. I'm working in community pharmacy right now. I'm also doing my master's. I'm doing a master's in global public health and policy.
And she's very much on her way to getting a first class, because that's the kind of babe she is.
God, if I don't get a first, I don't know what's gonna happen.
So I am currently I'm a hospital pharmacist. So those are community, that means she works in like your chemist, like Boots, those kind of chemists that you know of, right?
In the high street.
In the high street. I work in the hospital. Yeah, but regardless of that, moving on swiftly, I am establishing a property development company, and my company just got registered, so I'm officially a company. The first time I'm telling these guys as well.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Yeah, got my accountant told me yesterday.
Dropping bombs.
Your company's online and registered, so it's gonna send my documents. So yeah, we official, baby. And you know, we're just looking for land, you know what I'm saying, you know, trying to build some houses, you know what I'm saying, you know, and give back. That's it. That's all. Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, my resume isn't as bright and colourful as
it's about to be.
My counterparts. I am also a pharmacist. I also work in a hospital, and I am let me find a way to spice it up. I am currently on my cardiac rotation. I'm working in a specialist cardiac unit.
Come on.
Yes.
Okay, this is the whole question. Everyone could pick what parts they would answer. Do you know how I was going to read the question as it is? So it says, what happened in your last relationships? What did you learn/unlearn from them? And are you all single? If so, is that by choice?
Who wrote this question? I feel like it's someone that is trying to... Who are you?
Ola wrote that question. Yeah, you're right.
Who is Ola? You open everybody's business. So I feel like you need to back off. The fully loaded questions.
Loaded.
All
of
like,
that.
I am not leaving any corner untouched.
You guys can pick what part of the question you want to answer. Let's go for what did you learn/unlearn from them, and are you all single? First off, are we all single? Yes.
Yes.
Cool. What did you learn/unlearn from your last relationship? Anybody?
What
take us?
What dissertation shall I write first? I would say the major thing I learned for myself was about the importance of wholeness before entering a relationship. Y'all thought I was about to slander somebody, didn't you? I'm a woman of God. It's about being whole, and really kind of ensuring that whilst you're in singleness, you are working on yourself so you're good for somebody, but so you're your best you, and to really smooth out the things in yourself that are, I guess, not smoothed out, because they will rear their head.
Next.
Honestly, I've been racking my brain and I really couldn't even think of much. The first thing that came into my head that made me laugh is I learned that men are mad. And
Somebody had to say it.
my particular situation, it wasn't like mad like you see these men actually moving mad like he's a terrible guy. No, that's not the situation whatsoever. I just think as a general whole, like I say, I just think it's just men in general just don't think about things thoroughly, and because of that you can find yourself in wishy-washy situations if you yourself you're not intentional about what you want, where you want to go, and like etc. So this is not an attack on anybody, it's just an actual general observation across all kinds of relationships. Men are mad. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, in addition, one thing I've really been pondering on in the past couple of days is just because I know people really have a problem with women saying that men are trash. So I'm just thinking about, I'm just like, not every man is trash, but one of the main reasons we see consistently that men are behaving badly is because none of them hold each other accountable. None of them none of them hold each other accountable. None of them are act in a way in which they kind of rebuke or chasten their brothers. Like, they don't correct them when they are wrong.
Speak in English that people.
Okay, so that's basically, they don't correct them, or they don't pull them up and be like, bro, what you've done here is incorrect. I don't agree with the way you've done things, especially when it comes to relationships. It's so funny that boys actually see a lot of the time, from my own experience, before anyone comes to attack me, that when they speak about relationships are off limits. Boys are like, no, we have open and honest dialogue and conversations.
What you talking about?
What, football? All kinds of
your
things.
car.
your car. But when it comes to things that are kind of really instrumental in people's lives, they leave relationships. They're not relationships out of it. So I feel like that's why we keep seeing repeat offenders in terms of like men treating women badly. It's because your brother don't pull you up and say, listen, bro, I know that you're not a bad guy. I've been friends with you for years, but the way you treated that girl was trash. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would never want you to be around my daughter. I would hate for you to even speak to my sister. Your behaviour is bad. It's ignorant. If all of the scandalous things that you do, it makes me even question you. Can I even trust you as a bro? You're always telling lies, but then I'm gonna trust every word that comes out of your mouth. Like, why don't men hold each other accountable?
Sorry, she's screaming Beverley. Did you hear that?
No, I didn't hear it.
It's ridiculous. Sorry.
I think that's basically what I wanted to say. So yeah, we see men behaving in trashful manners because their boys don't hold them accountable. So it's like, if you want the reputation of your gender to rise, start holding your brother accountable and pulling him aside when you see that what he's doing wrong. Not saying like, it's not even my business, or I'm not involved, you know. No, you are involved. You are involved.
There's a lack of accountability as well, because they're all complicit. Like, they all do the same things. It's like, how am I gonna pull you up on
what I'm doing,
what you're doing?
I'm doing it as well.
Nobody wants to get involved in anyone's business, because then that gives you permission to be in my business, and I'm not trying to be corrected. Other things I've learned, I really don't think about all the stuff. I guess I've learned that I'm not ready for a relationship.
All of you suitors that want to slot in the DM. You hear that? Okay.
That I'm not ready for a relationship, and that's it.
I'm looking at you like, babe, 7 years, you better come up with something. 7 years with the same person, you need to. You've got some more learning.
I'm about to leave good stuff.
There's some more learning. There can't be.
I can feel Beverley. If there could be a temperature. I'm like, I don't know what she's talking about.
You gotta drag something up.
I can't think of much except that people are crazy. Because do you know what it was? The relationship was not a bad relationship.
Yeah. Yes, Auntie.
Hi, Auntie.
Bye. Yeah, no.
She don't get the logistics. She don't get it. Yeah, so the reason why is because it wasn't a bad relationship. He wasn't a bad guy. Like, if it wasn't for like spiritually where I am, and the fact that God wants me to focus on my relationship with God, would I still be in, I was gonna say relationship or situationship, let me tell the truth, with this guy? Most probably. So in terms of like lessons, I don't know, and I've never really taken a step back to reflect on the situation, because I never thought, it was never a toxic thing, it was never something that I really needed to ever be like, how have I got myself in it, except for the fact that, you know, the cycling stuff, it was never a situation like, oh, how am I allowing this guy to disrespect me, or there was never that problem. So I can't really think of a lesson to give to you guys, except if you have a feeling that you shouldn't be in a relationship, just
tap out.
It doesn't need to be bad, it doesn't need to be toxic. You might just need to focus on other things, and it's not ideal, especially in this society where we're in, where it's just like relationship or whatever, and also you're emotionally invested in a relationship, but especially if you're Christian, if you do not have what, you know, in Christian then people like to call confirmation, as in, I know that this relationship is ordained by God, and this is who God wants me to be with, then you're just wasting your time at the end of the day. And yeah, you guys might be compatible in a worldly sense, like I like you, you like me, we get along like we're good friends, but if you are not 100% sure that this is where God wants you to settle down, then you're just investing time and emotions into something that could just not be that.
But I feel like from seeing these two in relationships, the one thing I learned as an outsider looking in is that relationships require a lot of patience. And I feel like you guys have done...
That's a good lesson. That's one that I should have said.
Relationships require a lot of patience, because these people tell me stuff and it's nothing... like these guys they weren't in like toxic relationships or nothing like that, right? Relationships are generally speaking, calm, generally speaking. So they're just telling me, you know, just regular things like, oh, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said this. And I'm just looking at them, just thinking in my head, like, bruh, like, you lot have patience. Because in my head, I'm like, this is all long. This is all long. Time out, run away. So it requires a lot of patience. And you guys are very good at that. So I applaud you for that stuff.
God bless you. In a relationship, what I learned how to control my, I would say, rage. Sometimes. I learned how to actually control my temper. I learned how to just think before I spoke, because you realise in relationships, especially with these mad men, not like mad, like, but they don't reason well. They don't reason
that's what makes
well.
you mad. The fact that you're not reasoning and you're talking to me. You have to talk this through.
Like, you know, like in the Bible, it says, when I was a child, I spake like a child, I reasoned like a child, I understood like a child. But when I became a man, I put childish things away. These people haven't put the childish things away, and so they're still speaking and reasoning like children. And that's something that I had to. It's not all the time. It's not always consistent, but it's something that is like. It's very difficult. So I had to, when things came about and your reasoning and your thinking is lacking maturity, it made me like, as in my head, like I'm the colour of Uvie's head. I'm like, ah! But I realised, because of your thinking is yet to develop in that area, if I speak now in anger or in rage, you won't understand me, you won't hear me. So sometimes I will just leave things, let them cool down, maybe for like 2 days, sometimes a week. And then I would bring it up, you know, when everything's good, when you're like, laughing, gang on the phone, and then I'll be, you know, oh, hi, okay, it's alright if I just want to speak to you about something. Like, and then it's like,
you know, somebody's definitely the best.
Yeah, so I realised, oh, he's not going to be able to receive what I'm saying if I say it in my rage, and I need him to understand what I'm saying, because it's important for the relationship and it's important for him to know that as well about himself. So I would wait, and then when I bring it up, like, oh, hey sweetie, you know, you know, when everything's all good, and then he's like, oh, he's able to then hear me, if you know what I mean. So it really taught me to slow down and not allow anger to make me miss an opportunity to speak about something important in a relationship.
It's wifey anyway.
Yeah.
I'm all of that. Wifey.
Someone's missus. The question is that, what do you think your future looks like? So, what people that give a time frame of like 5 years, what do you think is going to happen in the future? 10 years, what do you think is going to happen in the future? And I feel like where I am now, I wouldn't be able to say I know exactly what the future is going to look like. I feel like I know too much as a believer to say, okay, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and I want it to happen this one, to happen that way. I don't really move like that anymore. I kind of just go to God like, okay, God, what are you saying about this? And he tells me this, and then I realise, you know, everything he tells me doesn't really give me a full picture, or the big picture, or the entire picture. There we go. So it's like there's always going to be things adding on, you know, bolts adding on to this, you know, we're going to add an addition over here, you know, we're going to put a segue over there. So I can't say exactly what I think my future is going to look like, but I can say that I would never have, like, let's say when I was 15 or 16, I would never have thought that I'm going to the places that I know I'm going to the places now, right? So I know that, for example, with like my business, I know that's a huge platform that God is giving me and helping me, leading me, guiding me to create, and I would never have envisioned it to be as big as it's gonna be if not for God showing me that. And then also with that, I still know that as big as I think it's gonna be, God has bigger plans than that. So yeah, when it comes to the future, it's like, generally speaking, I know career-wise, I know I'm going to be a businesswoman, have several of those. I know eventually I'll be married, and eventually I'll have some kids. I know other things as well, but let's leave all that alone.
The next 5 years, I don't know, but I feel like it's really exciting. So from what I know, what the Lord has told me, I'm going to be fully self-employed. I know that I'm going to have several businesses. You guys will know me as a serial entrepreneur, so that's what you're going to know of me. I'm going to be an advisor to nations. That's why I'm doing my Masters in Global Health. So you will hear about me in UN or other kind of health related advisory positions. You will, like, that's just, I'm not going to take away glory from God. It's not about what I think, it's about what the Lord has told me. And I feel like it's good that I say it here, because now I'm accountable. Yeah. I'm accountable to you guys, I'm accountable to all of you guys. But when you see it, know that it was the Lord, and you will glorify God alongside me as well and say God did it. So yeah, like I just basically said, I'm not going to say like, oh, it's a goal for me to be married, but I think I could potentially be. But if not, I'll be a woman sold out for the Lord, being led by the Spirit of God.
Where do I think I'll be in 5 years? I literally have no bleeding idea. But seeing as these guys wanted to be talking about prophetic words and prophecies, yeah, I've never really been somebody who's been into business and all of that financial stuff. I just want to live a calm life, as long as I have enough to just, you know, do what I want to do.
Liar! I'm sorry, it literally came out of me like something else. Like, oh my God. I was pondering, I was thinking, hold on. When we went to first year, we were all on one accord that we should start a hair business, like a hair
salon in the bottom of our house.
We came up with the name Lush Locks. Then we started doing wigs. Then this one said she wanted to do natural hair weave company. She brought that idea. These are businesses. Okay. Sorry.
That's never originated with moi. I'm just on the
natural hair
yeah,
company?
but that's because I have a need.
Okay. And that makes you
I have a need.
Yeah, that wasn't us, that was you.
Okay, that's the only one. Anyway, we ain't gonna do this. Yeah, I have never been somebody who's been really into the business. Whoa.
Hey, do we need some deliverance?
The name of God! I've been just getting words and whatnot that, you know, I'll be entering the sphere of business and whatever, and I was really like, whoa. Who said it? Yeah, I don't know where God's taking me yet.
What's your opinion on dating older men? Is a 7-year gap too much?
The way to go.
7 year. Depends how old you are.
7, yeah, depends how you.
If you're like 16,
24, and the man is 31. Nah, it's just not
the
for me.
way to listen.
It's not for me.
All this yen.
Our age.
Do you know what it is?
The boys.
What's our success rates?
Honestly, use your own life as an example.
For me, it's too intimidating.
It is. That's for me.
Do you know what?
It's bad intimidating.
I think in theory, it's intimidating, but in practice, it's not as intimidating as you think.
No, I couldn't imagine going to
Uncle.
going like.
Listen to me.
Anyway, I think
Theoretically.
if you're 7 years my senior, you should really have it. Like you should really be settled. As in, you should have your crib, you should have your car. So in my head, I cannot imagine like this grown ass man coming to pick me up. All I think of is a Mercedes, obviously. It's in the car, this big man's car, and then we go to his house and this is a swanky house. It's just like, this is a lot. This is a lot. And you yourself, like you're at a different stage of life, you're 7 years.
No, but this is why
Like,
you
now
women.
you don't
This is
think-
why
now
you
you
women.
don't
It doesn't make sense.
This is why these women piss me off, yeah? Because when they're making their list, then this is what they want in their list. They want a guy that he's like this, he's got his life together. When a guy presents himself to you and he's got his life in order, now it's intimidating.
No.
What is it there?
I don't feel like I can really occupy the space as wifey, as you know, counterpart, like somebody who can check you on things when you're so many years my senior. Do you know what I mean? It's just like my mouth will just be contorted.
Anyway, I just want to say, although I recognise that there is a level of intimidation that can occur, I also recognise what I say I would like in a spousal option. So though I recognise intimidation, and also, let's keep it 100, if somebody comes to me and they are pen, tall, save, and then, you know, all other things are
They're 31.
and they're 31, I'm just going to say, well, that's me.
Yeah, like why would you even question it?
Thanks God. Finally. Like, what? You think I'm going to be sitting there talking about intimidation? No, actually shut up.
The reality is that like boys our age don't have it together like that, because a lot of them are still they've come out of the uni stage, everyone's just kind of finding their feet, like trying to figure out where they're going. Like I won't say that you only see like a maturity in men that maybe like 27, you really start seeing that men are like they have their lives in order in a way which we would desire before we want to enter a relationship with them, because we know we can trust them to lead us in a relationship. For ourselves, other girls have different expectations, but for ourselves we know what it is like. So from about 27 onwards, so it's like we have to know like they're not able to before, like their salary hasn't even reached a certain place where they're even able to buy a house on their own.
Yeah, like again, like you were saying with your expectations. So my expectation is I don't necessarily need you to be a homeowner in now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, like you were saying, I just need to know that you have the character in place, like you're taking the steps, like you're financially literate. Like I can see, I don't want to say potential because you know we steer away from potential, but I can see you're walking in, you're purposeful about everything that you say you want to become. So I don't need you to materialize all of these things now in order for me to get into a relationship with you. I just need to see that you're plowing the ground pretty much. So it's not for me personally. It's not necessary.
I agree with you on that. I agree with you. I agree with everything you said. I agree. I'm the same place as you, because I feel in a way that I can't really even have the expectation of somebody if I don't even have it myself. I feel like it's unfair, especially now I've come out of the uni process and I know how hard it is to get yourself in order and put yourself together and do the whole adulting thing, which no one really talks about, which is actually a big which is a thing. But I just again, just reiterating the point of, I don't like guys our age, like our mums always tell us, and it's always been known that mentally they're just less mature. Like, so having spoken to men our age and men that are older, like in general, like even just as friends or having conversations, like the mindset of a man, I would say from 27 plus 28 plus, it's just completely different from guys our age. Like the maturity levels, they've those people 27 28 plus have literally put their childish things away, like what we were saying before. Hopefully let's just leave it at hopefully. But yeah, so it's like maturity, because a lot of guys they might sound like they've got the ideas and the plans of somebody who could potentially, or we use the word potentially lightly, potentially fit the script of what you want in your life. And so he might discuss financial literacy, he might say this, but a long further assessment, you know, his maturity is not matching what he has actually said before.
No, the person's question, what age gap is too much for you then?
For me, I think 4 years maximum.
Yes.
If I was in control, I'm 24, and the thing is, because older men, because they've, like you said, they're more mature, you want different things. You want kids. I don't want no youths. Not now anyway.
It's not you that decides what leaves my womb, is the Lord. So. But yeah, the highest age I'll go for, I'm gonna push it. Oh no, you know what? Because by the time I don't even know how long courting.
This is how you be getting married in 6 months, because the guy wants to consummate and have his children.
Joking, sir. I would say the highest. I'll give you the age of Jesus. I'll say 33.
I thought you were gonna say 35, so I'm surprised.
I brought it down because
I thought she was gonna.
I said by the time I marry and then I want to have kids, like, yeah, if that was the case. But I would say 33. I'll give you the age of Jesus.
So what is that age difference to you right now? 8.
7. I'm 26 this year.
It makes me shake.
So yeah, myself is I think 31 is reasonable, max.
How old are you? 7 years.
I'm 24.
So 7 years.
So 25 this year, so yeah, like 6 years basically.
6 years.
Yeah, max 31, like max
like 31. He has 31, yeah. No.
Yeah, you can't be 33. You're actually 35.
You're actually my senior.
You're actually 35. If you're
I don't see like that. Like,
I can't do it. Like, imagine you come and you tell me now.
Is this gonna be in the video?
Depends what we say.
No, I'm going to say something personal.
Okay.
We'll cut this bit out.
I think don't short yourself, fam. I'm telling you. Actually, it's too scary. I need you to encounter. Because when you meet the older person, you realise you're still normal like me. I hope I've swayed you.
You're really giving me food for thoughts.
Yeah, I mean.
And it's scaring me.
I would suggest you go watch some YouTube videos about dating an older guy.
Nah, I don't.
But not like dating 40 plus. Like my friend's husband, she's 25, her husband's 42.
Nah, I could never do it.
And I'm like, girl.
She's like, that's when you become in 30 years, you're someone's carer.
Yeah, that's not good. No.
Do you have any, like, I want to say, passions relating to the interest of other people? Do we have anything that you want to do that is for community, or just ideas for community, for the betterment of people?
The whole reason for any business I'm going to run, that the reason is for philanthropic work. The Lord led me into my masters. I wasn't even going to do it, so it really opened my eyes to the injustice and the now not physical slavery but the economic slavery that especially the African continent is still in. So my hope is to go back to Africa. Whatever money I make is going to be used to help regenerate communities, to equip people with knowledge and a skill set, to empower them. They don't need aid, they need a skill set. They need a way to be able to generate income by themselves and come out of poverty, like, permanently. So my kind of desire is to do that across Africa. So I'm talking about have businesses, but that's just going to be the medium which will allow me to have the capital to go in and do the work, rather than relying on governments, rather than relying on other organisations, which I will be happy to collaborate with, but allowing myself to be a resource in which I can use to permit economic growth, so that my children, your children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren won't be like, oh, Africa's the poorest continent in the whole world. How can it be the poorest when it's the richest in resource? Like, it's actually an enigma. It's about the people. If you understand the meaning of the word philanthropy, the word phil means love, the word anthro means people, so it actually means love of people. For me, the people are like my reason. I'm doing it because I want to see, not just for like a prideful reason that I want my continent to be the best continent. No, like, I don't want people to be dying prematurely for preventable reasons, and people to be living a quality of life that's beneath them.
The way I want to build my particular business in regards to helping people, specifically the people that I employ, I have a very big passion for like, when you work in organisations, particularly big organisations, you can see a lot of issues, and one of the issues is just like not being cared about as an employee, just being an employee, just being a number, just being a figure. So what I want to do in the company that I'm building is literally just treat people like people, and give them the space that they need to breathe. So what I mean by that, an example I mean by that is simple things like, you know, oh, you want to go to your child's sports day. I don't think that's a big deal. Like, I feel like people should be able to do stuff like that. So just creating some sort of flexible hours that allow people to do things like go to their kids' sports day. In my head, I keep thinking, okay, like how can you create an environment whereby people can bring their kids to work if they needed to or if they wanted to? You know, can we create a creche? Can we create a space specifically where parents that want to bring their kids can have that space and can also work at the same time? Just thinking of things like that. So that's what I want to do in regards to people in the business. And I feel like allowing people to feel, in essence, good, whole and loved at work is going to do a lot for people's self-worth and for people's mental health. Because I see what working in certain environments can do to people. I see what it does to their self-esteem, I see what it does to their identity, and I see what it does to their life. So I want to just be like, in essence, do business in a way that God would approve of, in a way that is loving to people. Now, the business would then allow me to, I would say my primary burden is homelessness, but I recognize that that's my primary burden because that's what I can see. Like, if I could see what the different things that people are going through, I know that I would feel it the same way I feel homelessness. I just see homelessness and feel it because I can see it. Like, it's not hidden from me. So I've just been coming up with different ideas of how I can play a part in rehousing people. So what I'm most likely going to do is form a non-profit organisation that's going to be focused on rehousing people. What has actually kept us off of YouTube?
Or what has actually kept us off of YouTube? Obviously, if you've been listening to other things in this video, you'll know that the Lord has really called us to do a plethora of things outside of the social media sphere. And so, as you know, people that class themselves as social media influencers, they do this full time, like, because it's not something you can do part time, like, and do it well. Like, you see, like our sister Mimi, she's killing it right now. She does this full time, it's her life. You know what I mean? So, we've been called for other things, like, so we have our focus on those other things. So just have an understanding of that. So where have we been
working in
purpose? Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the answers to the question. Fatigue. Stay tuned for more videos and keep putting stuff in the comments below of what you would also like to see from us. We want to hear from you.
And we definitely will have that conversation about body image, plastic surgery, all that stuff. That's definitely gonna have to happen. So you have to comment that one again. It's coming.
Okay. Bye.